welcome to another episode of Holy Shiitake. This is episode 15. And
Yeah, 15.
15
Amazing.
already, wow. I am Flo, your host from Vancouver, Canada. And
I am Jay from Japan.
there we go, she cut me off. I was going to be like, hey, today I'm joined, but that's okay. But,
Wait. You got to do it again. You got to do it
all right,
again. Make it perfect.
Okay, we're going to do it good. We're live, people. I am Flo from Vancouver, Canada, and today, as always, I am joined by the wonderful Jay. Hello.
Hello, Flo. And I'm Jay, everyone. I'm from, I'm originally from the Philippines, but right now I am living in Sapporo in Hokkaido.
Yeah, you've been there for quite a while too, actually.
Yeah, this is my second year living in Sapporo, but overall in Japan, it's my 5th year.
50, yeah, that's been a while. Before we start, I just want to point out that we do have a YouTube channel where you will be able to see this, the recording of this video. We have a whole lot more videos over there as well. You can find a whole bunch of stuff. We actually just recently reached a bit over 100 subscribers, which is pretty great because we just started that a couple months ago. So I wanted to take the time to say thank you to everybody watching. Thank you for everybody who subscribed, who left comments. This is very encouraging for us, and we really appreciate that. So thank you again.
And not just that, recently Holy Shiitake has been uploading not just podcasts, we're also uploading mini topics that we call mini Shiitake. So these are like short versions of different kinds of topics about Japan. And we also have travel shows, which most of the shows are about my travel experiences and are places that I want to go in the future and would like to share to you. So if you guys are interested in travel shows, then yeah, we have it for you guys.
For sure. All right, so today, episode 15, we are going to talk about summer because, it is summer, and we wanted to talk about how, what kind of summer looks like in Japan. And so that kind of gives us an idea, and we can compare it with, wherever we're in the world. I'm in Canada. Our watchers might be somewhere else. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What can you tell us about that, Jenny?
Well, when I was in the Philippines and I was watching a lot of anime in my childhood days, what I saw on anime was like a typical Asian summer. I mean, like it's humid and people are like fanning, like using a fan as if it's really, really hot. And you can hear cicadas. Have you seen this kind of anime scenes like the cicadas like wee, 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 like that? I actually didn't know it was
That's a good sound
real.
effect there.
I wish I could do better. Well, hold on. Wee, wee, wee. Okay, that sounds like a constipated cicada. But yeah, so when I got here in Japan in 2014, I really had no idea that anything you see from the anime is absolutely 100%, especially during the summer. But since in the first time I came here, it was autumn, so I didn't really, I didn't really experience the hot summer. But when I started living here in my first year, yeah, it was hot. And just like the Philippines, Japan is what people say muggy. It's the first time I've heard the word muggy.
Really?
I mean, we don't use that word in the Philippines. And people, started mentioning this word when I came here. And I was like, what's muddy? And then muggy. And then I researched over the dictionary, and muggy means hot and humid.
Yeah, we use it quite a bit here in Vancouver because of where we're situated, right? We're on the west coast in the Pacific, and we have the rainforests nearby.
Oh.
So I was like, it gets very humid. It rains a lot, obviously, in Vancouver. So,
Oh, I see.
like the term muggy is something we're very familiar with because it's something we kind of
Oh.
feel a lot here. Like it's not always muggy here in the summer, but there are some times where it kind of is because of the rainforest, because of the
Mm-hmm.
rain, and like it feels like it's hot and humid and it feels
Yeah.
heavy and it's like bleh, and it doesn't feel good.
Well, the thing about Japan, or the irony about Japan, is that during summer, it oftentimes rain, just like in Canada.
Yeah, yeah,
In the Philippines, most of the time, summer is like really hot and humid. And in the Philippines, the temperature ranges from 30 degrees to 40
Oh
degrees.
wow, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, so that's like around 85 degrees Fahrenheit to maybe 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just under 100 Fahrenheit or freedom units for those watching us
Yeah.
from the US.
It's almost the same in Japan, even here in Hokkaido, which I'm quite surprised. So in Japan, it ranges from 29 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. So that's from 84.2 degrees Fahrenheit to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not really far from the Philippines.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot.
Mm.
Like I know here, when we hit the 30s, like everybody's just melting here.
Oh my God. I mean, I can't imagine that. But what I'm surprised about people here is that no matter how hot it is, they don't use an umbrella to shade themselves from the
Right.
rain, from the sun. And I'm pretty concerned about that because in the Philippines, most of us use an umbrella whether during the rain or in the hottest summer, because in the Philippines you can get sunburned literally in 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why when I was there, when I lived there for 30 years, I was tanner than how I was today. But now that I'm living in Hokkaido, I barely go out, not because I didn't want not because I didn't like the sun, but it's because especially here in Sapporo where there's just nothing to do outside. I mean, you'd
Right.
rather go somewhere else like in the mall. But even when I do outdoor sports here in Hokkaido, because of the breeze, and I don't know, maybe it has fresher air. I'm not just really sure about that.
Okay.
I don't really get as tan as how I was in the Philippines. In fact, when I visited Okinawa back in 2017, because the temperature in Okinawa is the same as the Philippines, I got tanned in 5 minutes.
You got roasted in 5 minutes.
Exactly. But not that I didn't like it. I did love it because my natural skin came back. But when I went back to Hokkaido, I went bam. Oh, damn. I'm lighter again. I mean, not that I like it. It's just that I feel weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And not
funny.
just that. Since I mentioned about the insects that like that you hear from the anime,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about some of the common summer bugs that you see in Japan. I mean, well, for those who are not really, what do you call that? Not really comfortable looking at the bugs.
Right, right.
Yeah, so brace yourselves
We're
because we're just gonna show
yes,
a little bit.
we're going to show some bugs on screen. So if you don't like that, just kind of look away for a few seconds.
Or you can just close your eyes and listen, or you'd probably rather listen to us from Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the
Which
first,
I forgot to
yeah,
mention. I forgot to mention
yes.
that in my intro. This is bad. You can find all our episodes of Holy Shiitake, the live podcast, and Mini Shiitake on all audio platforms: Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all those things. You can actually find the audio formats of those. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's all right. Okay, now let's first talk about the most popular
Popular.
the most popular. He's a star now. This bug is a star, but yeah. The anime bug of Japan,
The anime
which is
bug.
the cicada.
Cicada. A cicada right here.
So I looked for photos of, like the bugs being held by
Right.
hand so that you will know the size of the bug.
Those things are way bigger than I thought they were.
I thought so too, because I thought they were like as tiny as flies. But if you
Yeah.
can imagine their their sounds are really, really
That's true. They're
loud.
really loud.
And they come in groups, like they swarm. It's just that you don't see them because they hide or
Right.
they camouflage from the barks of the trees, but they come in swarms.
They're huge.
And
They're really big.
I don't know if this is parental guidance, but they do this. They come out of their skins like snakes.
Oh, right. They shed their skins when they. That's because like when they grow, because of the way they're made, right? They don't have like a skin like we do. They have exoskeleton thing. So when they outgrow that, they need to remove the old exoskeleton so the new one can take place of it.
It's kind of interesting because one time I went on a vacation in Tokyo and I went to one of the parks in Ueno and I could hear them so loudly, like everywhere. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in an anime show or something. And then there's one time I saw one of the exoskeleton. Is that correct?
Yeah.
One of the exoskeletons. And I was like, oh my God, a cicada. Why is it not moving? And then I realized it was an exoskeleton.
Right.
But it does look like an actual bug, which is like
Yeah.
kind of weird and disgusting in a way.
It was really strange. Yeah, like you said earlier, it's kind of like snakes. No, they just get out of their skin basically, and then they get out of there so they can grow, and then
Yeah.
whatever, like the new skin kind of I don't know, I
Right.
guess it dries out and then becomes a new one. I don't know.
Yeah. The good thing about the cicadas are they're not harmful, so
Yeah.
no problem. Yeah, and I'm sure these bugs are all around Japan. So from Okinawa to Hokkaido, they are everywhere. But in Hokkaido, you would rarely find them, probably because Hokkaido has a very short summer, so they
Right.
migrate afterwards very quickly.
Right. And like I mean there are insects, right? So insects don't really do well in the cold.
Ah, right.
Right?
Right.
And Hokkaido being fairly cold,
Mm-hmm.
like as you said, not having such a long summer period.
Yeah.
That's probably why you don't see them or hear them as much as you would in other parts of Japan, right?
Yeah. Next, we have the stag beetle and the rhinoceros beetle. I don't remember what kind of anime it was, but back in the early 2000s, there was an anime where the characters are kids, and instead of Pokemon, they collect bugs.
Okay.
Oh, this is my bad. I forgot what anime that was,
I don't
but
know.
it was all about mushi or bugs. So guys, if you know what anime this was, it was also popular in the Philippines back in the day. So these kids, they were like collecting these bugs, and they, these bugs are like extraordinary. They're like battle bugs, like Pokemon, So they throw them, and these bugs, they turn into like gigantic bugs, and they battle each other.
That's funny.
And they also have a tournament for these huge bugs.
It's the tournament of the bugs.
Exactly. I don't know what. I really my bad. I forgot the title of the anime. But guys, if you remember this anime, please mention it in the comments below. So what's the difference between a stag beetle and a rhinoceros beetle? I would say it's the size. So if you can see from the picture, the stag beetle is kind of tiny, probably as big as your thumb.
I mean, tiny is pretty big.
Well, hold on, because the rhinoceros beetle is probably twice the size of the stag beetle.
Is it though? Okay.
I think so.
Holy
you
crap.
can see from you can see from the picture.
Dude, that one on the picture, it's as big as his hand.
I don't even want to imagine it. But again, they are not harmful. They don't sting or they don't bite people. In fact, they are kid friendly. That's why it's so popular to kids in Japan during the summer.
Interesting.
And what I find interesting also is that during summer, I noticed that in hardwares, it's not just the fish bowls you see, but I saw these small containers with pebbles and stuff, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's this for?" And then one of my friends were like, "Oh yeah, those are for the bugs." And I'm like, "What? Kids are taking care of bugs? That's disgusting."
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, again, guys, Japanese kids love bugs, and I don't know why, but it's a thing for them.
Okay, I mean, why not, I guess.
Okay, another common bug here in Japan is not really a nice one. And that's what we call the Japanese giant hornet or the suzumebachi.
That's a big ass one.
Exactly. So the Japanese term suzumebachi, it means from the word suzume, it means sparrow, and bachi means bee. So literally it means sparrow bee because it's like the size, literally, of a sparrow.
That's funny. It's a sparrow
It's
bee.
fun. You don't want to get close to a suzumebachi because it's one of the most dangerous insects in Japan, especially in summer. There
It
was one
looks
time
like
I
it.
encountered one. Yeah, there was one time I encountered one when we were having a class in the classroom, and then they left the window open, and then in comes this flying huge bee, and everyone of us were stunned. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, nobody's like, nobody moves, wait till it gets out. And then once it got out of the window, we just fan it outside. Because
Right.
the thing about suzumebachi is that it can literally kill people.
Oh damn. I mean, with the size it is, I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, and they are very territorial bees, so they kill any kind of insect, before them, and they hoard themselves, or they invade other, smaller bees, and not just that, they harm people. Like when they see walking people nearby, they attack them through the eyes. And they spit this poison in your eyes, making you blind for a few hours. And sometimes they poison your body entirely. That's why you don't want to get close to such a thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, enough of the bugs. Let's talk about activities and recreation in Japan.
Yeah, so what are the fun stuff that we do in Japan during summer, except for, avoiding big ass bugs?
Well, as we all know, when we watch J-dramas or anime, you would notice that a lot of people are wearing yukata during the summer. So the difference between yukata is that the material is lighter and they are usually more colorful. And I personally cannot see the difference between the two, but I would notice the texture and the
Right.
thickness
It does.
of the yukata. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like to be a lighter kind of material, right?
Exactly.
Than a regular kimono kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. I have a picture here. Let me show that.
So these ladies, you can see they have different kinds of pretty bright colored yukata, and
All of
most
the
of the
colors.
designs, are flowers.
Yep.
All right, and probably some of you guys already know the Japanese word for festival. It's matsuri, and
I didn't know that.
oh well, some people do, but so you call it matsuri. All right.
Matsuri.
Yes. And the interesting thing about this is that only in summer do Japanese people use fireworks.
Okay.
And it's interesting for me because in the Philippines, we use fireworks usually
All
in
the
the New
time.
Year's or in Christmas Day, right?
Here we use fireworks any chance we get.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like when we celebrate Canada Day,
Mm.
like what Victoria Day, BC Day, uh, like we have a special festival just for fireworks during the summer. Even though
Oh, really?
yeah, it hasn't happened this year because of the world situation. But
Oh, that's true.
like New Year's, sometimes Christmas,
Yeah.
sometimes Halloween, people do that too.
Oh, really?
Sometimes if we win a hockey game, you'll see some fireworks.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are not concerned about the pollution in the atmosphere, aren't you?
Well, I mean, the pollution from fireworks is not that big, right? Because it's
Oh,
just
really? I don't know.
it's just gunpowder. It's just basically
Oh,
fire, right?
okay.
Like it doesn't do much. Some people have concerned about basically the noise that it makes, right?
That's true.
The noise pollution, especially if that happens a lot. Some people don't really like it. But
Aw.
generally speaking, it's like whatever. People have fun with it.
All right, and another. Well, I like to share one of the popular festivals that we have here in Hokkaido, and it's called Susukino Festival. So Susukino Festival is located in the city or in the district in Sapporo called Susukino, and they hold common Japanese traditions like dances, the taiko drum playing,
Right.
and then there's these. They're not geisha, but they call it oiran. So the oiran are courtesans,
Okay.
and they parade like every year. People choose two women to play as the oiran in celebration of the Susukino festival. Now, oiran is known only in Susukino. These are courtesans, or rather decent prostitutes back in the day.
Okay.
I mean, decent in a way that they only do whatever back in the behind the scenes.
Right.
You know what
It's
I
more
mean?
like high end services.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like other countries, hookers are really hookers, you know what I mean? But oirans are like, they display themselves in a very colorful and attractive way, but they do whatever they want back behind the scenes, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, most of the oirans originated in Susukino. That's why they celebrate that every summer.
It's very colorful. A lot of blues and bright reds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of nice.
Okay, another activity that Japanese people do is this thing called suikawari. Suikawari. So suika means watermelon.
Okay.
I don't know about the wari, but suikawari is literally means splitting open a watermelon. So if you have a piñata in Mexico, they have this thing called piñata desu. No, I mean, the piñata version of Japan.
That's funny.
Where, at the beach, they blindfold one volunteer and the people will surround them, telling them the direction where to go so they can, split the watermelon
So they can
in half.
smash the watermelon. I have a picture here of a kid trying to hit the watermelon. He's like 2 miles away from it, but he's trying very hard.
I know, right? There was one time Shingo and I and our friends went to Rahanshima Beach to have a barbecue and swim at the beach. And we saw one of the guys doing this suikawari, and then his I know his clown guys are like, to the left, but the watermelon was actually on the right.
Oh no.
It's like farther left, and it was looking stupid already, and everybody was like watching and laughing.
Oh.
But it was really fun.
It looks like fun. It looks like fun.
Yeah. Now, aside from the recreation and activities, let's move on to the popular summer foods in
Ooh,
Japan.
I like me some food. I like when we talk about food. Makes me hungry every time.
Okay, so if you think about summer in Japan, the first thing I would remember would be the kakigori. It's kind of funny because whenever I hear the word kakigori, it doesn't sound delicious. It sounds like a gorilla to me. I don't know why. Probably because of the word gori.
Yeah.
So we have a video of Shingo showing the kakigori.
Right. I do have a video of that. Hold on. Let me put it up because there we go. It was a different folder. Let me put this on.
So kakigori is literally shaved ice. And these are like, I don't know if you guys have this in your country, but we do have this in the Philippines. We have our version of that. And it's shaved ice with some flavorings in it. And sometimes you put some beans or jelly in it, milk,
Okay.
and all that. But the basic one is what Shingo is holding from the video.
Right.
And to me, I'd say, well, the simple ones that you get from the matsuri or the festivals is like just a shaved ice. It's like a Slurpee, I would say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of like a Slurpee kind of thing.
It's like a fancy Slurpee. It's
Yeah.
exactly that. But
I mean,
in some,
I
yeah.
like me some Slurpee there. In the video, he's holding a red one and a yellow orange one. What were the flavors for that? Do you remember?
So the red one is strawberry,
Okay.
and is that yellow? The yellow one
Yeah.
is orange, which is funny. Well, yellow but orange.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean
it's
that makes
orange
sense.
flavor, yeah.
All right. All right. Cool.
And in some fancy restaurants, especially in Kyoto, you would see a matcha version of the
Ooh,
kakigori.
that
In
must
fact,
be
we have
interesting.
an episode of popular Japanese sweets coming probably in the next few months. So please wait for that
Yep.
episode.
It's in the works. Almost there.
All right. And next, among the popular Japanese foods we have in summer is the hiyashi chuka. Sounds like a Hawaiian word. Hiyashi chuka.
Hiyashi
Hiyashi
chuka.
chuka.
All right. What's that?
So hiyashi chuka,
Just for people
yeah.
watching us, I had it written down on one of my other screens, and I was trying to read it, and still I failed. I'm sorry.
So how do you read it?
Well, I have it. So hiyashi chuka.
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 Hiyashi chuka.
Hiyashi chuka.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, close
So
enough.
the kanji of chu is taken from Chugoku or China.
Oh.
So hiyashi chuka literally means chilled Chinese style ramen. And this is ramen without any soup.
Right. I was gonna say
But
there's like no
yeah.
liquid to it.
And these are cold noodles.
That looks good.
And personally, I have tasted that, especially from the school lunch we had every summer.
Okay.
And on the first time I tasted that, I really loved it because the ingredients are like, so chilled ramen and cucumber and sliced ham and the red ginger over there. And sometimes they put shrimp, which is chilled shrimp. I mean, it's cooked shrimp, but it's
but
chilled.
it's called, yeah.
And then they put some what do you call that? Tempura soy sauce, like the one that tastes from the sauce of the tempura. And it's really good because like it refreshes you from the hot, humid air. And
it does look good. It
yeah,
really, like it looks yummy and it looks refreshing, like you said. Because I mean, no, like you can tell by the look of it that it's a cold dish. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like you can tell it's cold because it has like those fresh vegetables and stuff like that in there. That looks good. I would eat that.
It does. In fact, I don't mind eating that all day. And the good thing about this food is that it's light, it's delicious, and it's healthy.
Looks like it.
Right?
That looks like a perfect summer little dish, snack kind of thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Nice.
is. And it's very good with mugicha. So mugicha is like barley tea, cold barley tea.
Okay.
And yeah, it's good with that and iced matcha, like iced green tea.
Ice green tea, yeah.
Yeah, or even jasmine tea is good with that. All right.
I could see it.
And next we have the ayu. It's kind of funny because I have a friend named Ayu. And ayu literally means sweet fish.
So you have a friend called Sweet Fish.
Well, she's a sweet girl, just not a sweet fish.
Okay. Okay. That works.
And it's kind of funny because sometimes you see this on anime too. So these are the
Yeah.
tiny fish
Right?
plucked into the
It's like
grill. Yeah.
what's the word in English? I forgot the word in English. Like skewered.
Yeah, skewered fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really delicious because literally they are sweet.
That reminds me.
And
That reminds me. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. That reminds me of the game Monster Hunter and Monster.
why? Oh, yeah, exactly. Tell me.
Because you get those things like in the Monster Hunter World version that I'm playing right now. You can get food and you can cook food and stuff like that, and like
Right.
you see those giant fish on skewers like that, and you just like get them cooked and just eat them. Like that just looks like
And
it.
the cat.
With
The
the
cat is like, meow.
and yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Whenever I see this on anime, I feel like I just want to go out and find those fish, and I'm like, where are those fish? I want to grab some of them.
Right.
Yeah. And the good thing about this is that they're easy to cook, and you usually can buy this when you go out fishing or when you go to the nearby lakes. There are some shops, shop owners who sell these kind of fish, especially during the summer.
Right.
All right.
This is really cool.
And
like
yeah.
the way they're just like around the fire kind of thing, and then just being roasted there. It's great.
Can you imagine the taste of that?
That looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like it really looks like anime food. It's like really.
It does,
Do
right?
they actually eat that kind of stuff? But they do.
Right? It's so funny, and it's amazing that whatever you see in anime, I would really say 100% of them is true. I mean, this kind of slice of life anime shows, I would say that 100% is true. I mean, come on, basically a lot of storytellers or comic makers make stories out from the real world anyway, right?
Right.
Okay, and last but not the least, I'd like to share you this interesting ramen that I have only seen when I moved to Hokkaido, and it's called Nagashi Somen.
Nagashi Somen.
So Nagashi Somen is like plucking cold noodles down from a bamboo with running cold water. Can you imagine that?
All right. So when we were preparing this episode and we were like getting our notes together and stuff like that, and this was part of the notes that you wrote. I was so confused. I was actually confused because I was like, what does it even mean? Plucking cold noodles rushing down from bamboo. I'm like, how does that work? I'm so confused. And then no, we did the research and stuff like that, and you showed me the picture, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. All right.
So okay, from the notes, yeah.
I've never seen that like in my life before until just a couple of days ago when we were preparing the episode.
So when you read the notes, what came into your mind? Plucking cold noodles.
Yeah, like I was like the image I had in my mind was people just like pulling noodles out of bamboo, which
is true.
Which is kind of what it is when you look at
it. Exactly. And this is kind of weird because I've only seen that for the first time when I moved here in Hokkaido, because my first hometown was Kyogoku, and it's popular for fresh water. And during summer, they build this bamboo stand, and they put running water in there. And then, yeah, during one of the matsuri, one of my students' moms were like, "Hey, Jennifer, come here. Let's get some nagashi salmon." And I was like, "What?" And she showed me this thing, this a very long, like a roller coaster, a very,
Yeah.
very long bamboo.
So like,
And there was rushing water.
so how does it work? Like, do the noodles just like fly in front of you and you just have to catch them?
So it's like what do you call that? It's like a kaiten sushi or a sushi train. So instead of
Oh,
the pack of noodles, instead of the sushi running, it's a pack of noodles. So there is a guy who will be standing from the from the end of the bamboo, and
okay.
he will, he will pluck like a bunch of a clump of somen or cold noodles,
Okay.
dump in there, and let it just go there like
Oh.
a kaiten sushi, and people would just wait in line, each in a row,
What's
and
my
they'll be
noodle?
like, "Ooh, somen, ooh, ooh." And I
Oh.
tried that for the first time, and I was kind of weirded out, and I'm like, why do you make things complicated? Why, Japanese people? Why do you make things complicated?
Looks
But they
really,
just love it.
yeah, I mean, looks pretty cool. Like, no, I have nothing against like, sushi trains and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool,
Uh-huh.
but like just just for the setting and like and the environment, like
Yeah.
I'd be down to try it because it looks really cool. Like on the picture we have there, it looks like that thing is built like right by the river or something, by the
Right.
wherever the water is. Like that looks pretty cool.
I think one of the reasons why Japan make weird things is because they have nothing to do. They don't have to think about the economy, or they don't have to think about the poor people or whatever. They're like, just, okay, let's do something weird.
Let's do something weird. I'm sure. Like I mean, obviously, like we haven't researched into the history of those some of those things, but
Yeah.
maybe there's a good reason for it. Like maybe like a few hundred years ago, that was just a way to kind of feed like the village or like the troops or whatever, right? And then have like everybody
That makes
just lined up,
sense.
and instead of having someone walk to the table for
Ah,
everybody, just
right,
like throw that shit down the thing and then
right.
they just catch it themselves, right? It could be just a matter of convenience, even though right now,
Or
like the way we look at it now is more like of a cool kind of novel thing, but maybe back in the days it was more, yeah, more of a convenient thing.
or it could be some random ninja is like, look, troops, I can't serve you all, so this is what I got. So you're ninjas, and you can just
There you
pluck
go,
them whenever.
just catch it.
And it works. So, Florent, personally, would you like to try that Nagashi Somen?
Yeah, I would.
I would say personally, some Japanese people are not in favor of that.
Really? Why?
Some of them are like, oh, I don't want to try that Nagashi salmon because, like, you can imagine their saliva's like dropping from there, and they're using the same chopsticks, like putting in their mouth and then getting, which makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, you grab your food like that, and then you eat, and then you go grab another one, and there's the water running there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, come on, that's not gonna kill you.
Well, unless these days.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like right now in 2020 is maybe not the right time to
Oh,
go for that. But
exactly.
uh,
I'm definitely sure this year the Nagashi salmon is not a thing.
yeah, man, the business owners for those like they must feel it real hard right now.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh, poor ninja
poor
salmon
ninjas.
ninjas. All right, and that's a wrap. And that's all for today's show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a glimpse into all the stuff that we see and we can do during summer in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it in Hokkaido, where you are right now. Some of it that you can find in other places in Japan. we haven't been really super specific on the stuff. We kind of wanted to look at it on a more, with a more global point of view kind of thing. And to get an idea on that. If you guys are interested in learning more about more specific things about summer and some of the stuff that we've talked about, don't hesitate to just let us know in the chat here or in the comments later, or after this video is on YouTube, you can just comment on it. And if you're interested, and if we have enough people interested, maybe we'll make some specific videos on that. If you want to know more. And that's pretty much it for today, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Those who were here, you can find the audio version of this on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and all those audio format thingies. Within the next few days, we will also have the video recording of the show on our YouTube channel. This coming Wednesday Pacific time, so Thursday morning-ish for Japan and Philippine time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think
if you guys are interested in our YouTube channel, just check Holy Shiitake and like and subscribe.
Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe, and all those cool things you do on YouTube. Thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you all very soon on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.